Mongoose Jake here with a video featuring a tank that's been a while since it's been on the channel, the Kampanzer 07RH. So here we are with, this time, I'm thinking it's been probably at least a year or two, but this time I'm finding myself platooned with my wife on a map that I really haven't featured much on the channel either. And so here we are on Siegfried line, myself in the Kampanzer 07 and her in a tank that I actually don't have, the MKPZ-68. And if you watch team deployment, which is something you should be watching within the first 30 to 40 seconds of a game, here we are about 45-50 seconds in, and you'll see there's a lot of people in Overwatch, especially right there at H6. And my wife herself is in Overwatch there at G56. Very normal position to keep an eye on the field. So with very few people actually in the field, specifically two, myself and the E25, I am not going to push up much. This bunker provides good hard cover because the Kampanzer does not have much armor. Yes, I got a bounce from the Progetto, but very, very unlikely to have that happen very often. That was just a very lucky bounce. What the Kampanzer has going for it is a blistering rate of fire, which I find to be very comfortable for me, as seeing as that things like the Panther and the Jagdpanzer IV are my favorite vehicles in the game. High rate of fire, low damage, high DPM. I absolutely love these kind of vehicles. But I'm staying tucked in here, taking some blind shots at the Progetto 46, and one of those is a hit. I'm watching for the dirt to fly up. As you can see, little puffs of debris getting flung into the air. I'm also watching the map. If you'll notice, what keeps getting my attention is the lurver over here that's F0. I'm noticing we only have tank destroyers there. No heavies went to the corner to hold it. So if that lurver pushes around, I mean, yes, if everybody's paying attention, they'll have easy side shots into him as he breaks cover at F0 and pushes to G0. But if nobody's paying attention, if they're focused in front of them, as normally you end up with a lot of tunnel vision teammates and tunnel vision enemies, if he pushes in, those two tank destroyers are going to have their hands full. And if the lurver pushes in and his teammates are paying attention, they'll notice that there's a wide open, basically broken flank. Because if he's able to get into the back area of our team side, that would be quite bad. Because that would allow things like, well, this Bizante to push in. So I make the choice to chance leaving the field kind of open. There's a lot of people in Overwatch, like I said earlier, but I chance leaving the field open for a bit to come over here and reinforce what is a broken flank. Now the lurver is not paying attention because I was spotted, of course, when I stopped to take shots at the Bizante. And he's just looking dead ahead. I've got him permatracked. He's gonna turn around, but instead of looking at me, I believe he's looking at the T-832. And I believe I was right on that, because the T-832 is... He's down a few hundred hit points, which is what the lurver does. It does about 300 damage per shot, or 320. But with the lurver gone, now I can kind of use my position here to put in some reinforcing fire on the enemy heavies. By the just chance that they leave me alone, the Kampanzer has a insane rate of fire. It has low damage at about 200 per shot. But when you're firing it under 4 seconds per shot, that adds up fast. And again, tracking shots, just basically pestering the enemy is something you can do, much like I do in the Panther. And I absolutely love that about this. Now, it does not have armor. As you see, I am working hard cover instead of concealment. And you have to be very careful about it, because it will take a lot of damage. Like, say, for instance, with the 2 artillery in play. So I am very hesitant to push the corner. But if the enemy is distracted, again, it has very, very blistering rate of fire, and you can just take low percentage shots all the time, like auto aim on the move. And oddly enough, I don't know what the enemy GW Panther was doing there. But I go ahead and push around, because quite honestly, with what I was worried about with our team has happened to the enemy team, a broken flank. And the Saladin, unfortunately, he's basically all that is over here. And I spot the M12 trying to make a break for it, and I get one nice shot into him, but he sneaks away on the tiniest bit of health. And I guess the Saladin either has forgotten that I was over here, or he is just gonna go after me one-on-one. I don't know what he's expecting, because he's never gonna win this engagement. He has less health, less DPM, and I can even switch over to the high explosive and really ruin it. But the SG-152, who I was moving up to help support against the lurver, he pushed up. And again, like I said, a broken flank can ruin a game, even if your team's holding one area well. And I was worried about that happening to my team, and the exact thing has happened to the enemy team, because now I'm in the backfield basically, just absolutely running havoc. And all the enemies are trying to scurry around, and I'm getting easy shots, racking up damage very quickly. Again, it's just quite simply the rate of fire. And I haven't fired any premium. And here I'm going to risk it getting shotgunned. But I had plenty of health still. The enemies had kind of absolutely ignored me. Very odd game, to be honest. Especially odd looking back on it again to do the commentary, in that things like the lurver, he just drove and I was able to farm him. Now, one vehicle that has paid attention to me earlier was the Progetto. He's still out here. We didn't lose the field, and that was a risk I did take. I took a risk leaving the field with only E25 out there to spot. Again, we had plenty of people watching over it, so I didn't feel like we would lose the field. But the Progetto, he's basically still hung around out here, and he's still taking shots at me. But of course, he is going to go down, and I have no risk of getting killed. But I get the spotting off of him. I had over 4,000 damage, I had over 1,500 spotting showing, and we'll see that I did have one blind hit on the Progetto earlier, it looks like. Because I did finish with 4,140 damage, 1,674 spotting, had the one bounce, which of course gave me an ace, a Confederate, and a high caliber. Moving on to the results, you can see that I had 1,601 experience, and it was through the combination of what ended up being not too much shy of 6,000 combined. So it was a great game in a tank that I absolutely love, and I hope you enjoyed the game. Thanks for watching.